Good morning, Hugh, as the Eagles make some big moves as soon as we get off the air.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Philadelphia. Just remember today at lunchtime, if your coworkers don't invite you to lunch, it's probably because they think you're weird. Just food for thought.
That is a good one for a Daily Douglas. All right, good morning, everybody. Yes, the Eagles make some big moves yesterday. It started during our show. Landon Dickerson re-signed 4-year deal, $84 million. But then they started importing some real talent in here.
You said some real talent.
Well, that's real talent. They got some real talent yesterday. Bryce Huff, which we'll spend some time on later. Hugh has dove into the film on Bryce Huff. He reminds me of a guy sitting to my right. That's a big move to bring in another pass rusher. But Hugh, the one that everyone is talking about across the NFL, of course, is Saquon Barkley to the Eagles, a 3-year deal. You heard the guys the afternoon yesterday reacting to it. Hugh, what's your reaction as the Eagles bring in one of the obviously most physically talented backs we've seen? He was once the second pick in the draft. Saquon's an Eagle.
I'm excited. I mean, I don't think I'm being hyperbole if I say I like their playoff chances. I like their Super Bowl chances now. I think that, for me, it's one of those things where it's kind of validated everything that I thought about this team. Now, I know that Bryce Huff was initially the first name that was off the board, and everybody knew that. But like I kept telling you, Joe, defense is a luxury, not a necessity. We got some offensive firepower now, man. The memes that I saw yesterday that folks were making, the excitement that they had. Oh, yeah, by the way, I saw the Giants fans. They were salty. They out there urinating on jerseys and burning them and whatnot. That's immature, even at this age. Even coming from a guy who's done a lot of immature stuff. Come on, dog. That's just a little bit much. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what this team is going to potentially be. And like I've always said, I don't care who you are. A good running game is a quarterback's best friend. And I'm excited to see Jalen Hurts bounce back from the tough season that he had. I'm excited about this Eagles squad, no question.
Well, look, the Eagles got some big names yesterday. And on defense, I think they got a big player there in Bryce Huff. As far as the Saquon thing goes, here's where I'm at on this, and I want to make it clear. I still think there's something left in Saquon. I don't think he is
cooked.
I don't think he's cooked. I think there's something left there. I think when you put him behind this offensive line, and we'll see what it is without J.C. Kelsey, but when you put him behind this offensive line, he's going to be he could be and probably will be a better running back than he was the last couple of years of the Giants. And 2 years ago, he had a pretty big year. So I think the Eagles added something here that can help them and make this offense even more explosive. Here's where I'm at on those. I like what they did yesterday. I like it. I can't sit here and lie and say I love it, though, because they spent big money at a position I don't think – it's not about Saquon. It's just about the position. I don't think you need to spend big money to get big production. The Eagles have had okay running backs here for years. They've run the football pretty well for years now with Nick Sirianni as the head coach, and even Doug before that, and they never needed a star back to do it. So I look at what happened yesterday, and I like what they did. I would love it if they landed, I don't know, the other giant free agent, Xavier McKinney. If they got me a linebacker in here. The defense still needs work. That was yesterday for me. Yesterday was about defense. They got one good defensive player, but then they spent a lot of money on a running back to add to an already pretty good offense.
You know what I'm starting to realize, Joe?
What's that?
You're never happy. You're like a significant other. I'm not going to say a wife. I'm just going to say a significant other that you could go out and you could buy them whatever they want. They'll be like, well, yeah. Like you go out and buy them a brand new car.
Yep.
And you'll say, well, this is nice, but I don't like the seats. The seats don't feel good to me. You know what I mean? And then you go out and you change the seats. You're like, yeah, the seats are cool, but now it's the color. Is this the best color?
Well, I think it's a great analogy because I'll say that's a really nice car. Saquon's a nice car, but we really could use a new bathroom. I mean, really, the basement could use some work here.
Man, the level of excitement Eagles fans have today, I haven't seen in a long time. And I know what that's from. That's from the fact that we got a pretty darn good running back,
yeah. Yep.
And now we envision our offense being what we thought the offense was going to be with DeAndre Swift. I ain't forgot about that because everybody's talking about how, he's going to be a huge factor in the passing game. Well, hell, I thought DeAndre Swift
we all did.
was going to be a huge factor in the passing game last year. But that didn't happen. But I'm not going to poo-poo on anything. And he went to Penn State. You know what? You know what's funny? And I thought it was blasphemous when I heard it, being that, he played in the Big Ten. But when I heard "we are" come out of Ike's mouth, did you hear that? Did anybody hear that yesterday?
That tells you.
Listen.
Ike bleeds one green, and it's midnight green.
Yes,
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
For him to be a Spartan dog, Ike, if you listening, I was ashamed of you, but I understand it. I'm still ashamed of you because I can't believe you said that. But you went, "we are." He went, we are
I
on the
know.
station. And he's a Spartan.
You got a lot of Penn State fans obviously excited. We know we have some of our callers. You have people in the
changed, man.
He did.
He's
obviously.
changed.
Well, Ike bleeds for the Eagles more than he bleeds for Michigan State,
that's
and
true.
we appreciate that. A lot of people in the Allentown area excited. Whitehall High School for Saquon Barkley. Look, I still think there's something there with Saquon. I do think he can produce here behind this offensive line and in this system.
And he can block.
And he can block. Look, he's gonna help them. I just went into free agency hoping for all defense, and they gave me one defensive player, and they gave me a running back. I like it. I will not say love. 215-592-9494. Where are you? Your reaction to the Saquon Barkley move. Was it the right move for the Eagles to go out and give Saquon Barkley the big money? Let's hear from Mike Garafolo here. I think I know Kyle's take, but I can't wait to hear him give his take. Mike Garafolo on how the Eagles plan to use Saquon Barkley.
The Eagles are looking at Saquon Barkley and saying this is a guy that must be accounted for by opposing defenses and is going to fit nicely into Kellen Moore's offense. This is not the way that they've been doing it the last couple of years. Low-rate running backs, throwing a bunch of different guys at the position, riding the hot hand as they did last year with DeAndre Swift. The hand they're going to be riding every single week is going to be Saquon Barkley. A big part of the offense going to be revolving around him, both as a runner and a receiver out of the back.
What's fascinating about that to me is the Eagles, and now this is going to be on Kellen Moore, it's going to be on Jalen Hurts and Sirianni. Figure out how to make everyone feel happy here, because this is maybe the most high-profile offense in the league. You know, San Francisco's got a lot of big names, right, with Debo and with Kittle and McCaffrey, obviously, but their quarterback is kind of like you forget about him, even though he's a good player. But here we have a high-profile quarterback who runs the ball too, right? He takes some snaps for himself to run the ball. We have a high-profile running back. We have two high-profile receivers, a high-profile tight end. Hugh, it's a good problem to have. It's a good challenge for the Eagles. But, boy, that's going to be a lot of mouths they're going to have to feed.
You know what? And I think that when you talk about challenging, as long as you're winning football games, that's the only thing that should matter. Now, I know I'm speaking from a position of sitting here at a news desk. Mm-hmm. And not actually playing football. So that's you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's easy for me to say that. But the bottom line is winning football games, and nobody was happy last year with the way that the season ended. So if Saquon comes in here and he helps you win football games, that's all should matter. And on top of that, let's be realistic. Saquon Barkley is making $12 million a year or somewhere in that ballpark.
Yep.
He going to touch the rock probably more than any other running back has touched the rock last year. Well, he's going to probably get a brunt of the carries because he's not going to be that carousel like it was mentioned of running backs in the backfield. So
what did he call it? Low rate? He called it low rate.
Yeah, that was kind of a shot.
Harsh.
That was kind of a shot.
Well, it was true. They did have low rate running backs. Now
DeAndre Swift was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, but he was a low rate player compared to Saquon.
He didn't hit for me every weekend. But I rode him every weekend.
Well, he lost us a lot of bets. I'm not going to lie. He lost us a lot of parlays. Hopefully, if Saquon wins me a few, if Saquon wins me a few parlays, I will be all in.
I'm a definitely parlay with Saquon.
Well, of course you are.